Yo, what's up? I'm UndaSkore, and today I'm pretty sick, but I still need to upload a beat to my type beat channel. So I thought I would show you how to quickly make a Kendrick Lamar type beat, no messing about, keeping it simple with minimal layers, but still making something decent within just 10 minutes or so. So let's dive straight into it. So when you need to power through and just get something made, even if you're not really feeling up to it, you need to make something that comes naturally to you. It's not really the time to experiment and go out your comfort zone. So for me personally, I prefer to make down tempo, boom bap inspired, smooth vibes, something that's easy to rap over. From here, let's just do literally a basic chord progression. Like I said, I'm feeling down tempo and soulful today, so let's just try something like that. So a really basic chord progression here, which is based on the A minor chord, and then I'm just throwing in the E as the bass note. So that's actually an E major 7. And then I leave the right hand the same, and just do the bass notes of the A minor, so now we've got the A minor chord. D minor 7. So it's really useful to know some of the common chord progression movements in different genres, especially when you're trying to fire something out quickly. So we've got our foundation there, and next, as I do with any beat I make, I'm gonna always layer the chord progression with something that can complement it, something that can still be there if I drop out the main chords. And all we're gonna do is just copy down that exact same chord progression. So this is what it's like soloed. Really soft, really subtle, and I'm just gonna add in a kickstart as well at a quarter note. And this just makes it complement the other sound as well. It's always good to have a bit of movement and motion. Now to finish off the main melody, all I want to do is add something that's a bit higher up in the frequency spectrum. And usually for this, I'm going to find a phrase, an accent, or a sample, something that I can just throw in as audio and then manipulate a little bit. So in this case, because I think that the key signature we're in is A flat minor, based on the fact that that chord basically repeats throughout the whole progression. So in this case, all I'm going to do is search A flat minor in my samples and just find something that I can take from a stem or something like that. See what this sounds like. So that's perfect, exactly the type of thing I was looking for. And I'm just going to manipulate it a little bit. So we'll just start off by EQing it a bit, taking out a lot more of the lows and low mids, turn up the highs quite a bit. And then Portal, one of my go-to plugins, especially for sounds like this, where it's not necessarily going to be the main thing, it's going to be more background, but you can do a lot of cool things, especially when you turn down the dry wet quite low and just let it do its thing as a texture sound. And then we can throw in a shaper box, just giving it a bit of a panning effect. And then finally a bit of phase distortion, just using KHS. As far as chains go, this is one of those go-to chains I use on texture sounds quite often to get that specific sound. So now all together, we got this. Now as far as the melody goes, that's all I want. I want to keep it really simple, lots of space for the artist. So I'm just going to go straight into adding a bass. In this case, just using a one shot. And because the chord progression is fairly basic, I don't even have to record anything. I can literally just copy over those chords, take out everything except for the bottom notes, and then just make sure it's in the right octave. Perfect, don't need to do anything different, and I can leave this as is for the entire melody and bass. Now for the drums, again, it's about keeping it as basic and easy as possible. Especially in boom bap, you could just use a break. What I'm going to do in this case is just drag in a drum break from Cymatics and just chop it up. You can see I've put it here to slice, triggered it by 1/8 notes, and now we've got a really cool break that we can take the individual hits from and do our own thing. So I've just quantized it. Of course, in boom bap, a lot of the time it's about the swing, the groove. In this case, it just sounded better when it was on grid though. So I've just made sure that everything's in time. We've obviously got some really good dynamics with the hi-hats and all the sounds just because of the velocities. So the next thing to do the drums, I like to always throw in another percussive loop. In this case, I'm just going to use like another break and just EQ out a lot of the lower end and let that take up more of the higher end. So you can hear it's just a normal break, but I've made it really low in volume, taking out a lot of the lows. So together in the drums, it just sounds a bit more full. And then finally for the percussion, just throwing in a little bit of another perk loop that comes in every couple of bars or so. Now that's essentially it. All I'm going to literally do is copy this out to about 3 minutes, and you can throw in a few things on the group layers in terms of the drums or the melody to help you with the arrangement. And what I like to do for that is just use Shaperbox and then just automate the on and off to come in with different presets that can just make things a bit more interesting come the end of a section or a breakdown or whatever. So now all I have to do is just arrange it out, just do some dropouts to different instruments, throw in my tag, export it. Now I can stick to my schedule of uploading Kendrick Lamar type beats.
I met her at this house party on El Segundo in Central. She had the credentials of strippers in Atlanta. Ass came with a hump from the jump, she was a camel. I wanna ride like Arabians, pushing no for Mercedes-Benz. Hello, my name is Kendrick, she said no, you're handsome. Whispered in my ear, disappeared, then found her dancing. Sierra had played in the background, the parade music we made had us all wearing shades now. Cool, where you stay? She said down the street.
If you want to see any of my other videos on making Kendrick Lamar type beats, which are my favorite beats to make, check out this playlist right here. Otherwise, have a good one. Peace out.
17 with nothing but pussy stuck on my mental. My motive was rather sinful. What you trying to get into? She didn't tell, just gave me her next tale. Dropped the number, we chirped the whole summer, and well, the summer had passed and now I'm liking the conversation we having probably.